Such a pleasure to be here with everyone tonight. And we are going to have some fun. So first of all, I see so many of you have put in the chat where you are from, but I want to keep you engaged tonight because we did hear from Sherry and Rhonda about some of maybe the challenges or the symptoms that women have through all ages, right? So starting even pre-puberty, going into puberty, into womanhood, motherhood, and beyond. So here's the question. I'm going to fire a number of questions at you throughout this evening, and I want you to utilize the chat. So if you yourself or any woman that you know, sister, mother, aunt, grandmother, neighbor, teacher, colleague, has ever experienced any hormonal-based symptom or issue or challenge, I want you to put an emoji in the chat. And it's really important because I want people to know that they are not alone, okay? So I'm seeing them coming now. And I love the emojis that you're choosing because I want you to watch those emojis because people are showing distress, right? When I ask the question, because yes, we're going to talk about all things female, but for the men that are paying attention to this call, you've also been impacted by hormonal challenges due to the women in your life, those that you love, those that you're friends with, those that you work with, and you can now offer some support, okay? So it's really important to pay attention because one of the things that's been normalized is, well, this is normal, right? Every woman has to have all of these symptoms and aches and pains and discomfort, 3 days in bed, 7 days in bed, whatever it is, it's just what happens. And I'm here to tell you, ladies, this is not just what happens. All of the symptoms that are associated with hormonal imbalance are simply because you're imbalanced. Right? There are daily lifestyle, daily health habits that perhaps you're not aware of or you're not accessing or utilizing that are helping to balance and manage your emotions, your mood, your energy, your sleep-wake cycle, your comfort levels, and whether, you're cramping or going to bed with a hot water bottle for a week every month. So let's jump into the presentation. I wanted to be able to give you something that was visually appealing so that it would make a little more sense as we're going through and as we're going along. And I'm going to pull up the chat box as well, and because I want to keep an eye on y'all. And so introducing Hers. And look at this fantastic new label design by our amazing marketing team, Ashley and Cameron. And it's gorgeous. This is the final label. This is our product, Hers by Neumi. And the reason I'm wearing dark and we're in the Neumi dark office here is because the night is hers. Historically, for many women, this has not been true. I want you to put a 1 in the chat if you've been, having sleepless nights time and time again due to cramping or discomfort or challenges with head pain and pressure or even nausea due to hormonal imbalances and symptoms as you're going through. And I know there's more than 2 of you, right? So Hers, this gorgeous product, may help with symptoms associated with PMS, perimenopause, and menopause, such as bloating, cramping, hot flashes, mood swings, and low energy. Now, notice how the symptoms doesn't matter at what stage of a female cycle you're in, whether you're 12 and having your cycle for the first time, or whether you're 85 and maybe you're finished your actual menstrual cycle, these symptoms can continue with you for the rest of your life. Now, what I want to make note of is that this presentation is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. This presentation has not been approved by the FDA. And this is me as a clinician coming in and talking to you about what I've seen in over 17 years of clinical practice. Okay. And so some of the questions that you have, I do see them, and I'm going to get to them as we go through. Okay, so, and at the end, stick around. If we have time, we'll do a little Q&A as well. So are all of these symptoms that we just mentioned, or the ones that we haven't mentioned that maybe are affecting you or your loved ones on the daily basis or monthly basis, are they normal? You are uniquely you. We cannot compare ourselves to any other woman. The symptoms that you may be experiencing or the discomforts that you may be experiencing are yours, and they're greatly integrated into your own, what we call a hormonal cascade. Where are all your hormones at? And what are they being influenced by? Lack of sleep, medications, toxicity, maybe poor food choices and dietary choices. Okay, so we're going to talk about some of the daily health habits that you can do to feel optimally well every day. And it's going to start with this amazing new product designed for women, by women, and our lead scientist, the amazing Bert, putting this together using our hydrostat technology. So the hydrostat technology, remember that we are taking all of these ingredients that we're going to talk about, and we are going to put them into teeny tiny, ultra small particles that we're going to wrap in this ultra pure water membrane to protect them from the digestive tract, but also to allow them to have immediate uptake through the oral mucosa and to be bioavailable, which means to get inside every cell of your body so that we can have a tangible effect with literally a tiny amount of product. The hydrostat technology takes those particles and it maximizes surface area and creates a much larger potential to have a positive and optimal results from taking the product. Now, I love some of the symptoms that are coming in, because man, do we ever want women to be sleeping better, right? We all know that when we sleep well, our emotional response is better, our blood sugars are better, and it's not a surprise why many women actually fall into hormonal disruption, because they're not sleeping, they're not eating properly, they're full of stress or anxious thoughts from burning the candle at every which end, and that's leading to a shift in the hormones. So let's talk about some of these fantastic ingredients. White peony root. Now, white peony has been known for ages as this amazing, beautiful flower, but we're looking at the root, flower to reduce menstrual discomfort, support hormonal balance. It's a phytoestrogen, which means that it has some properties within it that act like an estrogen. It supports the progesterone cycle, which is really important for a couple of reasons. There is a component in peony called, I had to write this down so I could pronounce it properly, panaflorin. So a panaflorin is this really cool molecule that actually helps to reduce androgens, which are male hormones, but in particular testosterone. So for many women, when their estrogen is imbalanced, it means that their testosterone is high, right? Because in women, we take testosterone and convert it into estrogen. And if that's not happening, we can end up with a series of hormonal-based issues and challenges. So this penafluorin, it actually modulates the estrogen and prolactin levels. These feel-good hormones that are really going to help support both the cycle itself, whether it's PMS, whether it's postmenopause. But what we really like peony for as well is its ability to really stabilize our stress levels, to really help us to take a deep breath and go, oh, it's not as bad as I think it is, right? And it also helps to increase libido. Now, here's a hot little tip. If you are stressed and anxious and not sleeping and not eating well and full of pain and discomfort, the last thing you want to do is be intimate with your partner, right? And so the Hers formula can really help bring balance in there so that you can reclaim your intimacy, that you can reclaim your relationships and stop hiding out right in your bed with a bag of Oreos and, a castor oil pack on over top of your abdomen. And now we also have this amazing ingredient, chasteberry. Now, chasteberry is also commonly known as Vitex. So you may have heard of Vitex before. It as well is a hormone balancer with that strong progesterone focus. When we're not getting enough progesterone, we can end up with major PMS or other symptoms in the latter stages of the cycle, known as the luteal phase, so that second phase of the cycle, but also for menopausal women in particular, right? If we are not having that rise in progesterone, there can be a whole lot of symptoms going on there. And, it's not fun to be around. And so let's encourage each other to look at what are some of the things that, if you were to imagine your life without some of the symptoms that you're going through, what else would be possible for you to experience, for you to do, for you to participate in? Now, chasteberry also really supports an improved mood. Interestingly enough, because of the way that it plays on the progesterone and balancing those hormones, for women that are having a lot of breast discomfort, chasteberry can be extremely important to help reduce the discomfort in the breast tissue itself. It also enhances your ability to conceive. So if there's some infertility, chasteberry has been used for hundreds of years for that. And it has this unique ability to also support the thyroid. For many women, as the hormones become disrupted, right, we enter into this inability to properly build out hormones for our thyroid as well. So chasteberry, very supportive for the female as a whole. And, once we don't ovulate, right, the ovulation triggers the body to shift gears and to start going into more of a progesterone load. And so when we're not getting that ovulation, if you are having your actual menstrual cycle, this can be why you're experiencing more discomfort or more PMS. But as you go into premenopause and postmenopause, if the ovulation is not happening, you're going to experience hormonal shifts unless we have a stability right within that progesterone itself, okay? Chasteberry is also really helpful for skin. It actually helps to boost collagen production. So pairing that with our Nutra or our Neumi skin product would be absolutely amazing. Now, Don Quay is a very interesting herb. Many might know it as Angelica or the female ginseng. Don Quay relieves menstrual discomfort, promotes hormonal balance. It's really phenomenal in the PMS realm. as well as postmenopausal hot flashes. And so it's well known for those two things in particular. For interest's sake, it is a part of the Apiaceae family, which are your carrots and your parsley and your celery family, okay? So many people can make a tea with this, but we've got that amazing hydroset technology where we just need that teeny tiny bit of Dong Quai to go in and have access to help balance the hormone systems. Now, it does support the healthy skin. It is also a nervous system and a reproductive tonic. So tonics help to strengthen and improve function of. And so a lot of women are having issues both with their central nervous system, maybe they're experiencing numbness and tingling and things like that, but also their autonomic nervous system where they're stuck in a panic, fight or flight response. So Dong Quai is really great for that. It also is amazing when we have a tendency to slide into those blue emotions. Okay, so that's why Dong Quai was added. Now, maca, many of you may be aware of the amazing maca. It's being added to all kinds of adaptogenic powders and mushroom tea blends. Oh, let me go back. Maca supports energy levels. Think metabolism, right? So if you're feeling like you kind of lose your mojo going through the month, or you're fatigued or exhausted, or you just can't, get enough energy to get up and go. You constantly think that your get up and go got up and went. And if that's you, I want you to put some type of an energetic emoji in the chat group, because I want you to commit, right, to increasing your metabolism and your energy and feeling good every day. And, where you go? I love that, Keith. Woohoo! And it helps with mood. Maca is really well known to really support kind of this happy-go-lucky feelings of just, I'll say, fulfillment, positive mental health, but it also dramatically increases libido and fertility, right? And so obviously, if you're not ovulating anymore, it's not going to increase fertility. But many women, again, as they're sliding through their phases of life, right, their libido may drop because their hormones are out of balance. And then it causes a severance or a disconnection in their relationships. And then families, marital units are being pulled apart because of hormonal issues that can be resolved by taking something like the Hers product, but also committing to do the lifestyle work, like getting to sleep by 10 p.m., right? Going for a walk every day, doing some prayers or meditation where you're refreshing and renewing each and every day. So maca is also really good at decreasing inflammation throughout the body. And we have as well this amazing ashwagandha. Many people have heard ashwagandha and that it, is this adaptogenic herb that supports the adrenals, which means that it helps to give us energy and feel good, and that our brain is functioning well. But ashwagandha is really well known to balance this stress response. And what's really important about that stress response is that many women, from the moment they wake up until the moment they collapse at the end of the night, right, are stuck in fight or flight. They're stuck in panic mode, okay? And when that happens, your body is actually stealing some of your cholesterol to make a hormone called cortisol to lower your stress. So it's very important, right, that we look at what we are doing to contribute to our own hormonal sabotage. And it's not because we're not on hormone replacement therapy. It's because we're not taking enough time to enjoy our life and to truly live and nourish our bodies and nourish our minds. So the Hers product is going to help set you up for amazing success, where you're going to be able to balance that stress response so you can take a deep breath in the middle of the day, so that you can smell the roses, that you can see the bright colors around you, and that you can respond rather than react to what's going on around you. And who would agree that when we respond appropriately rather than reacting, that our day goes better and we actually have more joy in our life? And if that's you, put a heart in the chat. Now, ashwagandha, not only does it promote overall well-being, but it actually supports a proper sleep-wake cycle. It improves the quality of the sleep, and it actually reduces insomnia. Many women just wake up and they don't understand why they're just awake all night. They don't have to pee, they don't have to eat, their brain's not racing, and they're awake. Ladies, husbands, gentlemen, let me explain this to you. You're waking up because there is a hormonal imbalance. The body is stressed because it can't clean and repair and regenerate and detoxify all night long. And so there's a disturbance, and you wake up going, what's wrong? But you're not tapped into what's wrong. And so some of these ingredients in this amazing Hers product are really substantially going to help to shift the scales for you and find that you're really having a more enjoyable day to day and night to night. Now, both maca and ashwagandha are known aphrodisiacs. So, if you might want to do some bedroom dancing, you might want to take some Hers later in the day or into the evening. Now, we have also black cohosh. Now, black cohosh is a really interesting herb. It does support healthy estrogen levels, but it's not because it's a phytoestrogen. It's actually because it improves the communication between the brain and the ovaries. And it modulates the cell receptors to help the ovaries do what they're supposed to do. So it supports, again, all areas or all spans of the female cycle. But in particular, we use black cohosh a lot for hot flashes and night sweats, uterine spasms, and any type of inflammation. It, again, is an amazing support for mental emotional wellness. And again, positively impacts libido. We're looking for some Neumi babies, right? And some of our products are our ingredients are really designed to be supportive to every area of the woman's life. Now, black cohosh as well for those low and those blue moods and feelings, extremely supportive. And again, another increases the libido in a very positive way. I'm a clinician, and one of the things that I can tell you in working with clients for over 17 years is one of the biggest unspoken needs of the clients that come to see me and the couples that come to see me is how they feel like they're failing in the bedroom. And it doesn't have to be that way. It needs to start with open communication with your spouse, but also actively getting your hormones in check and your lifestyle in check. Neumi is a lifestyle company. We advocate for healthy lifestyle, for healthy daily lifestyle choices that are going to give you the edge in winning and thriving in your life. Now, Damiana is, as an aromatic, as an essential oil, absolutely beautiful. It's part of kind of related to the chamomile family, so has kind of that nice floral note to it. But the one thing that Demand has is a component, a chemical in it called aromatase. Now, aromatase is really interesting because it decreases the conversion of testosterone to estrogen. And you might be thinking, well, hey, wait a minute. We just talked about all of these, ingredients that are actually increasing the estrogen. Well, ladies, we need some balance. We want to make sure that we still have some testosterone because it's really important in our makeup. We can't only have estrogen and progesterone and prolactin. We actually do need some androgen hormones as well. And I'm really happy that you mentioned that, Jane, because, when we don't have hormonal balance, as we've been discussing, that, we just don't have proper proper brain function to rationalize thought, right? We have challenges reasoning. We have challenges seeing from a clear vision and having connectivity in our mind, quick responses. And so this Demand is really interesting because it also dramatically increases some of our neurotransmitter production, like serotonin and dopamine. Serotonin, the happy sunshine hormone. So it's really important that the ingredients that we have are not just those ingredients, but they are literally helping to impact other important hormones in our body, those neurotransmitters that really make us feel good. Demand is a tonic for depression and for nervous anxieties, where you just feel maybe on edge all the time. And it increases GABA as well. And GABA is a fantastic neurotransmitter that just brings a beautiful, tranquil peace and calm throughout the whole body. And GABA can be taken in the day, right? So that, you feel good and calm all day, and it can be taken at night so that you sleep well. So Demand is an amazing addition to the Neumi Hers formula. Now, something that you may know about is that Demand is a bit of a stimulant, so it does slightly increase our energy. It's not a stimulant that you're going to feel it. It's not caffeine or anything like that, but it really just, I'll say, enhances alertness, okay? Demand in high doses does have some psychedelic properties. Those psychedelic properties are happy and calm instead of sad and stressed, okay? Now, let's rewind and go back to, what did I say our technology was called? Put the name of our technology in the chat, right? Because we have a crucial type of technology. Yes, thank you, Hydrostat. The Hydrostat technology makes it possible that we are using tiny amounts of raw materials to get exponential results. So are we going to have psychedelic effects? No. All right. We're using teeny tiny amounts that are going to optimize all of the brilliance of that ingredient, and in a simple swish, in a simple oral product. So our technology is Hydrostat. Our technology is actually not nano. So when we understand Hydrostat, we understand that the particles are teeny tiny, ultra nano size, but it's the Hydrostat, it's water, right? The taste is fantastic, just like all of our products. And so Demand is actually a really great support for maca as well. So they pair and work really well together. Now, a couple of other notes, and I saw some people excited about this. Our B12, honestly, is probably the best B12 that Neumi could have put into this formula. So, adenosylcobalamin is a form of B12 that is utilizable in the cell. Get this. Any B12 that you take, your body will literally break it down into cobalamin, and then it will metabolize it, and then it will reform it as either methylcobalamin or adenosylcobalamin. Wait, someone to me. Thank you so much. So the adenosylcobalamin is amazing and essential for the metabolism of fats, carbohydrates, and amino acids. This is really important, okay? So I alluded to this earlier on when I talked about women being stressed out and on the go, stuck in fight or flight, panic, anxiety. When we are in that state, we cannot digest. Our digestion is a parasympathetic nervous system activity. It's when we're resting, right? When we're relaxed. But when we're stressed out, we can't digest. So the B12 form that we have, the adenosylcobalamin, is crucially important to help facilitate proper metabolism of fats and carbohydrates and amino acids. The fats are key because you can't make any hormones without them. We actually need to have good fat in our diet, especially omega-3 essential fatty acids, in order to make hormones. All hormones are made from cholesterol, good cholesterol. All right, I won't go down that little rabbit trail, but please note you must have good fat in your diet. And carbs, right? Carbohydrates for a fuel source, and amino acids so that you can actually rebuild your muscles. Many women complain as they get older that they lose muscle mass and everything is flabby and saggy. We need the amino acids for that. Now, adenosylcobalamin supports myelin synthesis and maintenance. This is a protective coating down your central nervous system, down your spinal cord. So it is a fantastic and amazing addition. For those that have the MTHFR genetic deficiency, they do really, really well with this form of B12. And so what a great addition. We also have the B6 to support hormone balance and mood and sleep cycle. And then, of course, we have ginger. Hello! Why would we put ginger in this formula? And ginger supports common complaints associated with menstrual discomfort, right? Cramping, indigestion, bloating, diarrhea, right? Nausea. So ginger is really the super powerful ingredient that really helps to bring it all together. And now, who do you know that needs this product? I want you to think about right now in your mind, who needs this product? Is it you? Is it your daughters, your sisters, your mother, your neighbors, your coworkers? They need to know about this product. Imagine, and I want you to put in the chat, what is one thing that would automatically improve in your life if your hormones were in balance? I want you to put one thing in the chat. What would improve in your life when your hormones are balanced? Sleep. All women. Yes, all women need everything. So I want to quickly do Dr. Kirsten Highshutter did and some amazing a double blind study with the product, which means she didn't even know as the physician in charge who was getting what, placebo or hers. So let's quickly go through some of these. I know you can read. It's going to be a little fast here, but a 55-year-old menopausal woman says, I know it sounds crazy, but every time I have a hot flash, I swish. It stops a hot flash. like from happening. I can't be without this stuff. This is answering some of y'all questions about how fast does this work. And 32-year-old mother of one says, I used to feel just miserable. 10 days before my period, my body is no longer at war with itself. A 43-year-old perimenopause woman says, I feel like myself again. I used to get so irritable and moody. I didn't recognize myself, and I'm not an angry person. I was just short-tempered and impatient. And in just one 30-day cycle, I already feel myself again. Who needs that? Yes. We're so excited for women everywhere and their spouses and their colleagues and their kids. 53-year-old menopause woman says, I've been a hot flash mess for 6 years. Haven't slept through the night in 6 years. For the first time in 6 years, I can sleep under my covers. So wonderful to feel normal again. And I love this testimony from a 48-year-old perimenopause with ovarian cysts who said, I was getting these rashes on my face. I looked like I had sunburn or hives all over my face. Started 5 months ago and just kept getting worse. No one knew what to do with me, not my MD, my dermatologist. Dr. Kristen thought it might be hormonal. I figured the trial might be worth a shot. My skin cleared up after 3 weeks, and it has been good. I switched twice daily. It is a miracle. I am so grateful. Joy, I can see myself switching hers mid-sentence. I love it. And then we have this beautiful testimony from this 44-year-old woman. I was getting my cycle more frequently after December 2020. The cycle was different too. Lots of heavy bleeding, clotting, breast tenderness, a heavy feeling, 5 to 7 pounds of fluid retention. It's been miserable. 30 days, had a cycle show up. It was a total surprise, had no prodromal symptoms, no crazy build. It was like any other normal day. This stuff is magic. So I want to remind everyone that it's really important that we have our flagship product, right? Our NutraSwish. Glutathione increases the utilization of every other nutrient. The Hers on its own is absolute rock solid. It is amazing. If we want to up level our game, if we want to have better results, if we want to really, start reversing our biological age and feeling better and feeling more youthful and, having the greater skin and the more energy, that combination with the NutraSwish and the Neumi Hers is absolute dynamite. Now, I do want to mention a couple of contraindications. Even though these are teeny tiny amounts of product, you should check with your physician because if you are pregnant or breastfeeding, you should not take the Hers product because your body is not in hormonal balance. Your body is purposefully in a high progesterone unbalance, okay? If you have any estrogen sensitive conditions, you should speak with your physician about this product. And certain medications, such as hormone replacement therapy, right? Because you're taking a medication that's really contradicting what we're trying to do with the product. So make sure that you touch base with your physician if you have any of these issues. Pregnancy and breastfeeding is not an issue. It's a beautiful thing, but we do want to check in with our gynecologist, obstetrician, or midwife. Now, again, I want to remind you this presentation is intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. It has not been reviewed by the FDA. I want to invite you to know that you can reclaim the night, that the night is hers, and that we are powered by hydrostat technology. And at this point in time, and the amazing Keith Chasson is going to bring our owner, our founder, Stephen Scott on the screen. And we are so excited that we get to hear from him.